So today, pardon all the birds, today we are building our Kuksa mule. Dripping snot and everything because it's cold out here. I don't know about you, but one day when we have a heated shop, I'm not going to know what to do with myself. I've always been outside making stuff. But this is a short, so. The birds. The bird. All right. Kuksa bench build. I'm making some Kuksas. I need a bench. The two that I carved out busted really bad on me. And I'm kind of very sick of that happening. Kuksas are now going to be one of those things that I figure out, or it's going to be hell on earth for me. So to do this, I need to make a Kuksa bench. Now, if you go through my content, you'll see that I actually did a YouTube video on making a Kuksa bench. And I used it for a bit. It was 2 years ago. And then we moved. And moving was not very fun. And I ended up leaving it behind because there were things that I saw working on it that while I loved it, I needed to improve on. And the improvements begin with, first and foremost, 1 3/8 legs. I brought out my big drill bit and my big drill, my masonry drill, my drill bit, and I've punched 3 holes in. And because I'm going to be doing a lot of chopping and carving on this, I kept these 2 holes together. So I kept them a little tight together. I didn't want them to be on other sides of the log splaying way out there making a mess and a lot of stress. So I wanted to keep them fairly close. So I'm going to get the other legs in here and we'll see where we're at. So check back in a bit. I've went on ahead and I've taken my axe. I've chopped this face off and I've got a little bit more here left to do. But since you last saw it, I got 3 legs. They're at 1 3/8. 1 3/8 is just absolutely beautiful for this. So it's at 1 3/8. The splay on this is beautiful. The splays on it are just beautiful. So what I've done now is I've cut my juggling notches and I've got the clamp section right here. So grab the axe. So you'll see that it's got a nice flat surface. And I might take, you don't want this, you see how the angle here goes back a little bit? I'm going to take my axe and probably straighten that up, or chisels or something. But this here is the face that your block is going to rest against. Next step, to drill the holes. And I'm probably going to drill as deep down as I can, if not all the way through, and do the 1 3/8 because I'm loving how beefy these legs are. So everything about this bad boy needs to be about beef. Tap that in. This here is kicked out. We need to straighten that up. We actually need to kick forward just a little bit. So I'm going to take the axe. Bam. That's what we want to see. I'll put a straight piece of wood in there. And I'm gonna actually axe this back. Just a little bit more. For those pieces of wood. So there's that. And Take it all the way down to the bottom. All right. There we go. So I want it to be able to clamp these odd shaped pieces as well as the straight stuff. There we go. That's nice. So now what we're going to do is we're going to drill a hole here, here, and here. Be back. Holes are drilled. And I'm going back over these. Get rid of any splinters with these adzes. Bam! We'll recess the holes just a touch. And now's a good time to take a look at what you've done. And we need to take some pieces of wood and we need to carve dogs. So we're going to carve 2 dogs and we're going to make them not super tight, because I don't know if you can see, but in the bottom of these holes there's no light. Put the camera directly over. And what that means, what we did was, this log was so thick that my drill, now mind you, I used a power drill because this is, you know, here it is almost, what? It's just after 11. So my goal is to be done with this by now. But, you know, I'm gonna make something that's nice that I can enjoy using for myself. And what I'm doing now is I'm just going through, I'm not going to target all the axe spots because I like the axe marks. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to target the high spots. Any spot that looks high, that feels high, like right here. I'm going to come through here with the adze. Target it, or, you know, if the adze won't get to it, come in here with the axe. Get a good bite and follow that. Follow that on through, just like that. Axe marks I don't care about. I want my work surface here to be flat. That's all I care about. And I don't want to get any splinters. So I'm going to come here, because this wood, something how long it's taken this aspen to dry. It's been down since August. So that's that. Let's check back in with the dogs. So I'm going to get them made up, and all I'm going to do is take pieces of wood like this. I've got some over here, and I'm just going to split squares. I'm going to do the same thing I did for the tenons. I'm just going to split squares out and get them axed down. And I'm going to use, now that I've got a workbench, and this workbench is going to come in handy in oh so many ways, because I have a chair that I need to get assembled, and I can now actually put this, I can put the chair on here and get the proper angles. So for anybody looking to have a small compact workbench, this thing is amazing. And you can take this technology, right? This primitive technology, and you can take a whole log and however long you want to. Cut this down, level it off, and you can have a outdoor workbench that you can plane on. So you would want to do the same leg setup so it stays even, and just take the whole top of this down. In fact, that might be one of the next additions to my wood shop, is getting a 6 or an 8-foot log, hewing the top of it down, because I've got this wonderful plane stop that is currently buried somewhere's over here. It's currently buried. So you can take this 6-foot long, 8-foot long, however long you want a workbench to be, plane the top of it down, put 3 legs into it, and bam, you're good to go. Just going to have to remember that as it dries, it's going to warp, it's going to shrink, it's going to do what green wood does. So like, you might spend a lot of time flattening stuff down, but it'll be flat enough to get the job done. And in the end, that's all you got to care about, is getting the job done. What gets the job done? How can I get it done with what I've got? Boom, boom, bam. Keep it simple, stupid. And for me, this is definitely keeping it simple. And you can go all hand tools on this. You don't even have to use the power drill. Power drill for me comes in really handy because I like to have energy to do other stuff. But when I'm doing my historical stuff, you better believe that doesn't go with me. When I'm making tools, and time is a factor because I'm making product. Because remember, I'm a full-time bodger. I am a full-time maker of green. I am a full-time green woodworker, making many different things out of green wood. So as much as I hate using that thing, if it helps me make a tool that can make the items like my Kuksas, Alan Real made me that one. That's a really nice one. But there's one I'm finishing up right there out of cherry. If I can finish them up, make the tool to make the item that I'm going to make my living off of, and I can make it faster with electric and just as skilled with the electricity, you better believe I'm going to do it. Otherwise, it's a two-handed drill. It's a two-handed brace or bit, timber auger that I would use to go down in there. So you don't have to use electricity. You can do it all hand tools. And for most of this, other than for the holes, for my juggles, it's all done by hand. I've hewed it down by hand. I've gone over it with the adze. It's completely by hand. So let's get the dogs made. I lied. Planing stop was not over there. It's here over with the forge stuff. So, something like this. Rex Kruger gave me this. And we won it down in, well, not down, but over in Covington, Kentucky, when Owen and the others came over. Owen Reardon came over, and they had to get together with Chris Shorts and everyone. And hey, y'all, I really, really enjoy being around other woodworkers. So what we'll do in future video is take this guy, combine it with a longer log of that guy, and we'll make an outdoor planing bench that we can use to assemble chairs and stuff on. Because, like I said, I've got my wife's chair to put together, and I am super, super happy over this guy. So enough rambling for me. Let's get the dogs made. Can't have anything nice. Look at that. The first brand new axe marks. So here's the first dog. And the thing about carving dogs is that you need to remember, even on professional grade workbenches, on the high-end fine woodworking benches, dogs always have a slight taper. This allows them to move up and down the hole easily. And I'm not liking not having access to the bottom. So I know I've got a extension around here, so I'm going to take the extension out, extend my drill bit, and then finish it off the rest of the way. That way it stays straight and true all the way down, or close enough. That's the fun thing about green woodworking, is that when you're making a bench or something, you do have room for leeway for things not being perfectly straight. But, each one of these I do by eye. So, like, I'm really tickled with the base and the angles. And chopping on this thing, oh my goodness gracious. Chopping on this thing is absolutely a dream because of just how stout and heavy this is. And, like, it's not budging. Like, the whole thing has to move before it does. So, 1 3/8 holes, dogs for the dogs as well as for the legs. And it's good to go. So I'm going to get to work on the second one, and then we got to get the wedges. So here's the dogs. They slip in and out. This guy here, I'm going to have to work on just a touch, or he's just going to have to be happy to be in there. Because, see right here, there's a bit of compression. So I might take the axe and knock them out real quick. All you got to do is pick this thing up, use the weight of it, tap it with the hatchet. But this here is how they should work. This here. You get down there, and it bottoms out in the hole, but it's still loose. But it gets nice and tight. Okay? So that one requires a touch more work. And these guys that I cut off, because I had way extra length, I actually could have probably made... I could have made 2 of these out of the one. I could have made these 2 out of one of these. But I need wedges. So the ends of these will come in really great for wedges. And then it's just chamfering it up and putting a Kuksa in there. All right, before I go too far, let's make these wedges together. That way you can see. Let's readjust. All right, so wedges. So we're going to have these nice and flat, nice and square. And just take your axe. Don't worry about trying to make this disappear by hitting up here and not hitting here. Take the whole thing off. And this will be the good thing about having axe cuts right here. So that it gives something for this to grip in. So take your axe. Shave that down, and if that doesn't want to work, remember, this is a tool. This is a disposable tool, so this is going to be something that you're going to tear up and use. It's not permanent. So if it doesn't quite go all the way across, it's okay, because it's going to set in here like that, or it's going to set in here like that. So it's completely okay. And take the sharp edges off. Bam. And you can pull your knife out at this point, chamfer it. It's going to dive. I'll just come back up here. Chop that dive off. Bam, bam. And you know, if you're seriously into Kuksa carving, you're going to have a whole pile of these. Doesn't want to work, so that's right there. We'll just come up here and do that. And then, bam. 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 There's one wedge. So it comes from this guy. Just come in there. That's some really nice cherry. And it's carving nice. I can't wait to carve spoons and stuff out of it. And like I said, you're going to go through a bunch of these. So don't be afraid to make it rough. And just so I'm not bleeding over everything and everyone, or showing blood all over the video. So like I said, we're going to need to make some more of these. But we only really need 2. chamfer, chamfer, chamfer. Chamfer, chamfer, chamfer. Chamfer, chamfer. Get all these edges off. There we go. And I'm probably going to drill some holes in these later on. That way I can forge out a hook to put on the end here of my horse, or on the end here, or on the end over here. If you can see, no. Okay, so on either end of the shaving, on either end of this horse or the Kuksa mule, I'm going to put a little hook on here. That way I can tie a string around and hang these up off of it, and that way they stay. So we don't have a big enough piece for the wet. So we're going to make a spacer. And we'll just get this nice and flat. And you're going to want your stuff to be flat. That's the key to this stage. Because if it is not flat, this is where if you don't trust your skill with the axe, go on ahead and take a plane. Use a plane and plane this down. But you want this, you want each one of these to be as flat as you can make them. So take a little bit of extra time, make it flat. And the reason for that is because of the compression. I actually might taper this guy down. So the compression here that this will have. So say that this is a cup I want to carve. I'm going to put this in here. I have this cup pressing up against this. This big boy here is the big jaw. He's the bottom jaw. And then we're going to put the spacer in here like so. And then we're going to take my little adze and we're going to take and tap these in like that. And this thing is now locked in nice and tight. So you want that stuff to be clamped down. And I'm going to show you real quick, if you can't see it, give you an overhead view. Overhead view. You'll see how nice and tight everything is against here. So all this is putting clamping pressure down. And the tighter you can get your cuts, the tighter you can get your axe cuts. And I am darned impressed with those. But the tighter that you can get it, the flatter you can get it, the more compression you have as this whole thing squeezes itself tight. So, and then to release it, you just come up. And you just tap it up. And the whole thing comes apart. So, that is carving a Kuksa. That is carving a Kuksa bench for Kuksa making out of a piece of aspen with a few pieces of cherry. However long this was. So I hope you enjoyed. And just to say, I played the whole YouTuber game. If you enjoyed and you're liking what we're doing, feel free to drop and give me a follow. Give me a like. Comment on the video. It helps us to grow, as you know. So I hope that you've enjoyed it. This is how I made my Kuksa bench. And the one thing that you'll notice on this one is that you can set down at it. So these legs you can take out. You can put any height of leg on here that you want. I do a lot of my carving setting down, and I wanted a nice stout one that I can put down low to the ground, and I can do all my carving on it. And if I go to an event, I can take these legs out because this whole thing is going to shrink. I'm going to be able to take my legs out And then after I take them out, I can carve a longer set of legs. That way I can stand up. So you won't see any of them out there. At least I don't see any of them out there low enough for you to actually set on to do this. But I do my best carving when I'm setting down and not stressing out because I get standing up. I worked construction and, standing up means go, 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 go. And you're going to do your best green woodworking when you're just chilling out. You have a cup of coffee, whatever gets you to chill out. It's meant to be very, very relaxing. So for me, that's grabbing a project, setting down, and feeling like I have pretty much the whole day to do whatever I need to do. And that's the key to green woodworking. You have to take your time. You have to work with the material. So there's my rant. I hope you enjoyed. Bigfoot out. Great thing about the Kuksa mule, or the bench here, is just how flexible it is. But you'll notice that you can have this in any configuration that you need it to. Inch and 3/4 dog, no, inch and 3/8 dogs gives you a good place to go. Make sure you take your holes all the way down, because if not, it'll fill up with gunk. Regardless if you keep it inside or outside. If you don't drill them all the way through, they'll fill up with your shavings and stuff, and you'll be forever picking them out. So I just went on ahead and got my extension and punched all the way through. And this second row of holes is for when I'm in a situation like what I found myself in here. So I've been struggling with the Kuksa carving because I overstress everything by working it too much, and the next thing I know, it's cracked and drying. So like even this here concerns me. So what I went on ahead and did is, while it's one solid block, went on ahead and carved it out. I won't go into the details about Kuksa carving, but this here is a situation where having good strong dogs will come in really, really handy, because I got it rounded on the bottom better than flat like that. So you need to have both sides. You need to have both the front and the back to work efficiently flat. Everything here requires it to be flat. So I didn't do that. And as I was struggling around which way to put it, I went on ahead and found a spot in here for the wedge to bite, which has now wedged it really nice and tight. So I'm going to get to work on this and see what it does. But that is the brand new Kuksa bench. And I am so happy I made it the way that I did. Whew. So, see y'all on the flip side. And for the education of this thing, I've got this one. Remember how it was loose? Well, the cool thing about having that little extra slot and having this thing grip there is that you can have enough of a wedge, you can have enough of room to get a wedge in there and squeeze it forward. But you do want to be careful how much pressure you put. There's not a lot of pressure in this, because as we remove these inner fibers, the whole structure gets weaker, and there will be a stress crack here and a stress crack here if you put so much wood that you crack it. So I'm just sneaking up on it, but oh my gosh, this thing is so amazing. Like, oh my gosh. And the great thing is that we can use it on our bread bowls too. So we can put a bread bowl in there, lock it down, and then scoop it out and have something to work with. Like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. So awesome. Look at this cherry. Like, oh my gosh. I'm geeking out a little bit. All right. I need to stop. But it's functioning, and it's functioning really, really, really well. I thought about putting 4 legs on here, but I love the 3 legs. And beefing up the tenons, like, oh my gosh. Beefing up the tenons on the legs to near an 1.5 inch, 1 3/8, bare minimum from now on for me, 1 3/8. 1.5 would probably be even more ideal, but 1 3/8 is where I feel like I can pound on this thing, and it's not doing a thing. One other thing to keep an eye on is your hole placements here. This guy here nicked a little bit of the leg underneath of it. It's not a big deal, but if I have to, I'll scoot the leg in or over someplace where it won't be in the way. But I'm going to let it be, because I don't think it's going to give me a problem like ever. So Just be careful. Don't drill through your legs because then you'll weaken the tendon structure. Like, I'm lucky that it didn't hit the tendon at all. It just grazed the hole. So, but yeah, overall, here's the first Kuksa coming right out of it. Oh man,